WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And it is 7:45 here in SVG. And at this time, we have commentary coming to us from Mr. Kingsley DeFreitas. So, Kingsley, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning to you. I still have an echo. I hope it doesn't affect the quality of the broadcast.
No, we're not hearing anything.
Okay, but here what happened, right? I don't know if I'm upset or if I am. I know I went to a particular business place yesterday, and I saw a young lady. I did not have to use my imagination to see what I am seeing. And I was paying attention to her because from a man's standpoint, who is window shopping, she did look desirable. But where she was walking, I don't think that the outfit is a reflection of what I was expecting. Mine, I stood at a distance, I look at her, I use my imagination, and I say, wow, if I could, I would. But on the other hand now, I say, boy, why do women sell themselves so short? Because when I was younger, I grew up with my mom, and she was kind of strict with my sister. And when they dressing, they suggest very modest. So if a guy see them and he used to wonder what they look like. Now, today, you don't do that anymore. I'm being honest with you, what I saw, I enjoyed the view. I say a typical man will feel good at what he's looking, and it might jumpstart an old man like me who is just window shopping from a distance. But it did look annoying for the average person who may come to the, but I don't want to say department store or business place. I don't want to identify already, but in my opinion, it was distasteful the way she carried herself.
Mm.
And as two young ladies who on the street this morning, I normally pay attention to you, particularly you. I have my reasons why I'm doing that. And it's have people who will look at both of you and say, you're carrying yourself in a particular way. And I see some wife material, long-term relationship investment here. Today, it appears that men don't do that anymore. They just see something flash across their eyes, and they say, wow, I like that. They make some advance, and the way some young men just shout women, yo, hey, and the young woman respond. I said to myself, we really lost it. And I am just hoping that people who listen, whether you are a mother, and it has mother today who look as young as a daughter, and they really carry themselves, I actually say, if you don't look at the daughter the way they just before they leave the house. Mothers competing with daughters to see who could look the youngest. I mean, I really wonder where the values of today's society gone. And it was a rude awakening to me. Well, I admit to you that I enjoy this view because from a man's standpoint, but from a human leg standpoint, it was distasteful. And that's my rant for today. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And Carol,
don't go yet.
Yes.
How was she dressed?
Too revealing.
I need more information than that, Kingsley.
As in, it was
Explain.
the clothing was tight, the bust line was too deep.
You want the extra view? Okay.
No, because I want to know. I want to have an idea of what exactly you're talking about.
Well, I look at her and I say, wow, look at a beautiful woman. The physical structure look appealing. And I just say, my eyes caught through the boobs and they were revealing. I think the cut was too deep.
Okay.
And when she turned around to go get me the service, I deliberately dropped the pen. You know why I dropped the pen? I wanted to bend down. And she couldn't because the outfit was too tight and too revealing. And I said, Lord of mercy. Before I fall for temptation, let me just turn my back and get up to this place. You understand? It was a little stage for as far as I'm concerned. Yes.
Okay.
So
All
don't
right.
forget this view.
Yeah. Oh, yes. We got a better understanding now. All right. Thanks, Kingsley.
Okay. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks. All right, so that was Kingsley with a very interesting topic this morning in terms of the modern way of dressing for women.
We have a call.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Mason.
Things have me cracking up there this morning. Anyway, I never slept at all last night. I didn't sleep. And my thoughts was going all over the world. Right? And you both came to my thoughts. Both of you. I thought to myself, those two young ladies having to get out of bed at between 4 and 4. And get in the studio to entertain us. Right? It made me to think of some time I spent in England having to go to work at night, midnight, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. So, anyway, that's that part. Now, that's not all of it. Now, what I want to say, WEFM has 9 programs where listeners can call in and interact with the host of the program. Right? Starting with Issue at Hand. My favorite, one of my favorite programs, Samuel. What do you call it? Please, Miss Samuel, help me out with that one.
On Sunday afternoon, Sunday Classics?
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then you have Interactive Morning, then Shake Up, and then you start now with voices. Then you go on to
then there's
Feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the train, Pastor Jerry.
Gospel Train,
Gospel Train. And then you have this one at Saturday night.
Marcus program, Reggae Blast,
Right. Now, it's of all of those programs, it's only one I have never ever called and interact with. I won't ask you to name it because you might not be able to, or maybe you will. Anyway, I really enjoy it, and I said thank you very much in the morning. You make, my morning start off real nice, sharing you both in the morning. Really, really sweet. So that's why I did. But Kingsley boy, I would have liked to be there to have a little look with you, but.
All right.
So that is my little bit there this morning. You both have a very pleasant day. All the very best to you. In fact, I might as well tell you the one that I don't never call in, and that's Voices.
Okay.
Never call the Voices, but keep it going, my dear girl. Keep it going.
We will indeed.
Because if you're not there, Josh will miss you. I will miss you.
Anita.
Okay, then all the best time. Have a good day.
To you as well. Thanks, Mr. Mason. All right. So We have a caller. All right. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning to you girls. How are you, all right?
We are fine. Good morning, Mr. Gibson.
Good. What Kingsley said, it remind me of a barbed wire fence. It protects the property, but it does not hide the view.
Hmm.
All right? And that's what I got to say about it this morning, all right?
Well, that's it?
Have a nice day.
All right. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Mr. Gibson. All right. All right. So it's interesting that we're getting comments from men. Let's and another caller. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Ladies.
Morning.
Yeah. Yes. Let me say something with pigeon. Pigeon is flying high, man. You have to start to call it eagle.
You are the pigeon, you know.
Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. I only give my joke. But what pigeon is saying, the same three questions is there. If the command come back, if he introduce the policy as Minister of National Security, we could cover all the passport issue. And why did he introduce integrity legislation? Because a lot of corruption is going on. So the same question is there. So I could say, they understand with the passport issue, Command Augustus and those kind of fellas. And even with the CBI program, if what policy introduced for as Minister of National Security, you understand? So that could cover all that. So those three questions there for him to answer. So pigeon fly high, man. We have to start to call it eagle.
It's interesting you find it so amusing. All right, thanks, Carla.
Yeah, man.
All right. All right. So, Dianna, what's your thoughts regarding what Kingsley said?
Well, as it relates to the particular situation that he was talking about with how the way she was dressed at work, I would definitely say maybe it was a little bit inappropriate for work, because a workplace, or depending on your workplace, I feel all workplaces, it should be a professional environment, and she should dress as a professional for work. Anything other than that, I would say that a woman has the right, well, men have the right to dress how they want to dress as well, and women also have the right to dress how they want to dress. What I find, I was here on Google trying to find a proper definition of modest and all these things, but my research, I don't have enough time to complete this research, and I haven't found anything, right? But I am aware that certain things that we have in the society, they came from, whether it's the Christian beliefs, or somebody or some man somewhere who wants to tell women what they should do, how they should dress, and what they should do with their bodies and all these things. And I don't agree with those things. I believe people should be allowed to do what they want to do, so long as it does not bring harm to anybody else. A woman growing up, Kingsley mentioned the way his sisters grew up and how their mother or father, whoever it is, allowed them to dress. And I grew up that same way, not being allowed to wear this, not being allowed to wear that. You're told to wear shorts. I couldn't even wear short pants at home, right? But now that I'm big, and now that I'm looking at the world, I just feel like we just put all these things on women, what they should do, what they shouldn't do, how they dress. I know that the way that women dress now is talked about a lot. And for a while, I joined with those people, and I did talk about the way women dress. But I sat down and I'm like, Dianna, who are you to tell people what they should do with their bodies and what they shouldn't do with their bodies? Nobody left you in charge of free will, right? And I feel that once the woman is comfortable in whatever clothes she's wearing, she should be allowed to wear the clothes. It may not be pleasing to my eyes, but who am I to talk about it? It's not my body, it's hers. And if she wants to dress that way, she's comfortable dressing that way, that's fine. A man will see her dress in a particular way and have no problem with it, then that's the man for her. If you as a man see a woman and you don't like the way she's dressed, then she's not the woman for you, so keep walking. And to the women as well, because I know that there are women who also look on at other women and be like, oh my God, look at how she's dressed or whatever. Listen, people dress how they want to dress. It's either you like them or you don't like them. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. Just because you dress in long garments from head to toe doesn't mean that everybody ought to dress in long garments from head to toe. Just because you dress in tank top and short pants doesn't mean that everybody must dress in tank top and short pants. To each his own, really, when it comes to the way people dress. I just think that's it.
All right. So, Dianna, I do have something to say to you and your rant, right?
Go right ahead.
There is something called time and place.
Right. So that's
Right?
why I say for the walk, you dress professionally.
Yeah, but then I think what many workplaces are experiencing is that either mothers in particular don't advise the girl children in particular, not even just girls, guys as well, what is appropriate work attire. And what you tend to find as well, employers are finding it difficult in terms of it's already an uncomfortable topic to say, okay, well, if a lady is wearing something that is too low, a male boss is, well, in terms of showing too much cleavage, a male boss is not going to feel comfortable telling her that she should wear something that is a bit more covering up, right? And then other females might want to say something to her, but the person who's being told whatever gives an attitude. And one of the things that I recognize is that when we go to several business places, I see women in particular, well, men as well too, inappropriately dressed. And there are persons who have said that they have spoken to individuals over and over and over again about what it is that they wear, but maybe they're holding the position that you hold where I can wear what I want. Wear what I want. As long as it's not impacting my work, then I can do what I want. But when you have somebody like Kingsley coming in, right, and deliberately dropping a pen to see, if she could be able to bend over and she can't bend over, then is she actually functioning properly on her job? Or is she being a distraction? And does she actually want to be a distraction? I have no problem. Well, no, I do have a problem with how some persons are dressed, because one of these places that I see people just dressing anyhow these days is to go to funerals. I see in nightclub dresses being worn to funerals. And I really and truly wonder, is it that we just don't know how to be modest anymore? Now, yes, I know that there are some voluptuous women out there that no matter what they have on, their shape and their figure is going to be shown. And recently it actually came to me that I often wonder how many women in society feel overly sexualized, in the sense where they can't even walk through the streets comfortably without a man making a comment or something about them. These big bottom women, hips moving from side to side as they walk down the road. They can't help the shape that they have. But I do think that there are some women who try to minimize having that sort of, those sort of catcalls, etc., thrown at them. But men just look at them in a sexual way, and there's not every woman wants to do it deliberately. But for those who do, then what is the point? What is your purpose? And after a while, doesn't it get annoying?
Well, going back to the walk situation again, I would say for walk, or depending on the walk you do, you dress professionally. You make sure that
you two just said, and what is the definition of professional?
Whatever is it?
Because you're looking for the meaning of modest.
Well, the professional walk attire for where you walk, which I don't know, something that is not too revealing, something that is not too tight for walk. If you're not at walk, put on what you want to put on. Men control you, and that's the thing. I find sometimes that, I'm gonna leave that one for now.
In terms of what men making comments towards women?
For now. Well, men always make comments, morning, noon, and night. They make comments.
Right, but that's the thing. So is it a case where the way in which some women dress, they encourage it?
No,
is this the attention that they want to get, to solicit from some men?
If that is the attention they want and they're getting it, then that's on them. But if you're a man and you see a woman dressing however she's dressing, and it is not the woman's fault that you can't control your tongue or that you can't control your response. Close your eye, look in the other direction,
but it's
or
not
just shut him out.
All right, we have a caller. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. I've been listening to this topic, right? The thing about it is a lot of women get out the base and the figure, and they put clothes on, the tighter the clothes, and then they get out and they get an attitude if somebody look at them. First of all, if you come out dressing like that, somebody is going to look. And when you're talking about in a workplace, not just a workplace, even church. Do you watch the way some of these women go to church these days?
Yes.
I mean, they go to church like they're going to the club.
Maybe they're just rendering their heart.
And, like they said, the tighter the dress, the shorter the dress, the closer they are to the front.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, if you got like sometimes, I'm out there on the street. If I see a woman, you look good and you dress good, I'm going to watch. The tighter the dress, maybe the longer the stare. And the problem is I've been, at homes with some of my friends, and I see like the sister or whatever. They go, they get dressed, they come out in the mirror, they look, and if the pants ain't tight enough or the blouse is not whatever, they go back in and change. And then when they get out in the street, they get mad because somebody looking at them. Like, this is another thing. I'm up here in the States. I drive tractor trailers, right? When we're in these trucks, we see everything inside of a car.
Because you're higher.
One time I'm in traffic, and this lady, she have on a skirt. When she sit down, everything reveals. She looks up, saw me looking at her, and get mad at me. Why? You know how you dress before you get in the car.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
And like you said, the same thing with guys. One thing that really, aches me is when you see grown men go to work, be around other women, and the pants all the way down the behind, the brief showing. Nobody want to see that stuff. You gotta be out there, especially when you go to work, just for the job. Because if I run a business and you come working for me like that, I'm sending you home.
All right, we hear you.
All right. You guys have a good day.
You as well. Thank you. All right, so we could steal a few more minutes just because our guest is running late. So Joshua, sorry, but another 30 seconds to you.
Okay, yeah, this is for Dianna. Dianna, you're absolutely right. Dress however you want to dress, but it's like fishing. When I put bait on a hook and I toss it in the water, fish are going to go for it. Men are by nature dogs. So when you dress like that, be prepared to deal with the consequences. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you, Joshua. Oh, Lordy. All right. All right. Kojo, another 30 seconds for you too.
What kind of 30 seconds?
Because we've done over the time.
Yeah. You believe in sexual harassment?
If
you
who?
believe in sexual harassment? Do you believe in sexual harassment?
Yeah, I do.
It's sexual harassment. You come and dress like that in front of me and expose everything.
How so? I don't see it like that.
As a man.
I'm a man.
That's interesting.
So if a man dress up in a tight pants and his,
You might actually be annoyed, Dianna. That's true. You might actually be annoyed, yes.
Sexual harassment.
Yes.
You can't present yourself like that and tell me that I can't look. I do sexual harassment every year. And it's the only training that we have to get 100% mark. If you do 1 year, I'll go back and do it all over. And those are things that in training they tell you, you can't come and tease me. And if I could complain about you now. I could go and tell the supervisor I can't work from you in that kind of clothes.
All right. Thanks, Kojo.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So we do have to bring this segment to an end, but Dianna would allow your final thoughts.
I don't think I have any more. I mean, just to say the same thing I said before, when it comes to work, you could dress professionally. If your workplaces usually have, I think, some guidelines on how you should dress, not something that is not too tight, something that is not too revealing. Of course, workplaces are different. So for us, people not really seeing my bottom half,
But you
only
definitely can't come in a short pants.
Right. So the people I work with are the only people seeing my bottom half, really and truly. I cannot compare myself. I would not compare myself with somebody who's, let's say, working in a store, or something like that. Listen, you just for work, if it's not too tight, it's not too revealing, then that should work for work. Other than that, you dress how you want to dress. Men, if you want to watch, you watch, but don't blame women for you not being able to control yourself. I mean, I think it's the 24th century and we should be over that by now. You know, it's like when we blame the woman for getting raped. Oh, see how she does dress. That has nothing to do with it. So, yeah, that's it for me for now.
All right. So what Dianna's final point was actually what I was going to say. Regardless of where you stand on this particular topic, for men out there, even if a woman chooses to walk down the road naked, it's not an invitation for you to do anything to her. All right. So, yeah, I know that this persons are going to be for and against this particular topic, but at the end of the day, a man still needs to have some self-control and some self-restraint, and don't inflict harm onto women in particular in this case, right? So we are going to head on out of this segment at this time as our guest has arrived, but let's take a few ads before we get into our interview. And our time here in SVG is 8:10, and our time check came to you with the compliments of New Haven Funeral Home.